Hey y'all, this is Why Music Therapy Part 1. So, my name is Jennifer. I am a licensed music therapist and owner of Amira Music Therapy in Mississippi. And I wanted to share my why of music therapy, why I personally was brought into the field. And it started really when I was really young. My mom used to play this cassette tape. Yeah, I'm 33. I know what cassette tapes are. And it was all harp music, harp hymns, I believe. And I loved it. Now, as a young child, I was like, oh, mom's playing us nice music. I now know as a mom that my mom needed the harp music to bring a little bit of zen into her life as she was parenting. But I just fell in love with harp music. So when I was 9 years old, I waltzed up to my mother and I told her that I wanted to play the harp, which is an unusual enough request. I mean, there's not a whole lot of kids that come up and say, hey, I want to learn to play the harp. It's usually, let's play the flute or the drums or the trombone, those marching band instruments, the things that you see in schools all the time. No, I wanted to play the harp. And it's even more comical, I think, when you realize that even as an adult, I am 4'7", and the harp is a large instrument. So I can only imagine what my mother was thinking when I told her that I wanted to play the harp. And initially, honestly, she didn't bring up any of those things. She initially just said, or at least in my head, I remember, that the harp was a really expensive instrument, and I was a little young to be committing to such a large financial commitment. So I was a stubborn child, and I remember going to a homeschool convention, and by some miracle, they had this family there that was playing harps. They actually built their own harps, and they were playing harps. And I think my mom realized I was pretty serious when she kept losing me at the homeschool convention. And I wasn't one of those kids that wandered off. I have too much anxiety. So I was constantly wandering off to go see the harps. I wanted to hear the harps. I wanted to touch the harps. I wanted to be as close as I could to those harps. So I think then it kind of clicked for her, okay, she's not going to drop this. This is something that we can look into. And they did. They looked into it for me. And me being a stubborn child, I actually saved up money for 2 years, I believe. Now, granted, I was, again, this process started when I was 9, so it wasn't like I was rolling in the dough, but my birthdays, Christmas time, all those times when people were asking, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? I said, donate to my harp fund. And finally, after 2 years and a lot of support from a lot of family members, I got my harp and I started harp lessons. So I was about 11 and a half. And I remember kind of in passing my teacher, my harp teacher, mentioning that music therapy was a thing, that people would bring in their harps and play for kids in the hospital, or, provide harp music in situations where people weren't feeling well. And I kind of laugh at it now, but I looked at when I was hearing that, I kind of thought, well, music is beneficial and everything, but real therapy to help people actually get better, I don't know about that. And I just kind of continued pursuing harp and voice lessons as well. I ended up in voice lessons just for the sake of music. I just loved music. And I ended up in a high school that specialized in the arts. I would do my homeschooling work for about half a day, and then I would go and study music there. And one of the things they had me do was learn music in different languages. And at the time, I was also working at a daycare. And I remember getting out of the music classes that I was in, having just worked on a French song, and going into work. And there was this young boy there who I would like to say is doing fantastically now. He has grown by leaps and bounds. But anyway, this young boy was born very premature. And because of that, had a lot of health complications. And this little boy, when I walked into work, was just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. And I found out that everybody there had tried to calm him down, and he was having none of it. This child was just inconsolable. And the teacher in the room kind of handed him to me. She needed a break. Everybody else needed a break. So they were like, oh, fresh meat. Right. Not really, but like really somebody who's not emotionally frustrated at that point. Maybe a fresh face will help. And I'm holding him, and he's crying and crying. I'm not super familiar with this child at the time. I'd seen him a few times, but wasn't really familiar with him. And the only thing I could think to do, because everybody had listed off all these, normal ways to get a child to stop crying, and couldn't really think of anything else other than to sing. I just started singing the first thing that popped into my head, which happened to be a French lullaby that I was working on in my high school class. And really, I wasn't expecting anything to happen. It was more like, well, if he's going to cry, I'm just going to sing some soothing music and we'll get through this together. And almost instantly, his eyes lit up. He stopped crying. His body relaxed. His focus turned to me completely, and it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. He calmed down. He was engaged with me in a way I had never seen him engage with other people before. And it was just a wow moment for me. Like, that music actually did something for him. And at the time, I didn't have the science and the training behind it. I didn't know why that worked. I have a few theories now, but in any case, it did. It worked. And the other thing that amazed me was that after I stopped singing, he was still okay. Like, he was able to go and play. He hit that emotional regulation stayed with him. And that was when my harp teacher's words kind of came back to me as, oh my gosh, this is a real thing that could really benefit people. So since then, I have pursued music therapy, and I truly, truly love what I do. I get to meet so many very special people. I get to use music that I love. I get to perform music and be in music all the time. And I get to see how it impacts people. And to me, that is it's my dream job. It's helping people. It's creating this safe space for people who may have never had a safe space before. It's just super impactful for so many people. So that is my why. I've seen music therapy work. I use it on myself. I use it on my daughter, and it helps. It works. It's really, really powerful. So that is how I became a music therapist. It started as a 9-year-old who just wanted to play the harp, even though she was tiny. And has evolved into my own business and getting to serve so many wonderful people. So that is my story. And I encourage you, if you get a chance, to tell me your interactions with music therapy. I would love to hear how you have been touched by music therapy, how you found out about it, and just hear how music therapy has impacted the world. So have a great weekend. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.